They told you that being an open book was a virtue. They lied. In reality, it is a suicide mission for your soul. Have you felt it? That hollow ache in your chest after giving your trust, your time, and your best ideas to people who weren't even looking? You are exhausted because you've become a house with no doors, where anyone can walk in, take what they want, and leave you with the mess. But what if I told you that your exhaustion isn't from working too hard, but from carrying weights that were never meant for your shoulders? Awareness. The weight of stones that are not yours. Today, that ends. I am going to show you how to build a filter so powerful that only the worthy can pass. By the end of this journey, you'll possess a silent strength that no one can breach. However, before you can build this fortress, you must understand the invisible leak that is draining your life right now. Something Ewan discovered in the most painful way possible. Look at Ewan. He just spent 12 hours hauling heavy furniture for a friend he barely knows, all for a lukewarm thanks while his own life is falling apart. Like many of you, Ewan treats everyone like a brother before they've even earned a seat at his table. He is pouring his limited resources into cracked vessels, hoping generosity will act as a magical glue. But hope is not a strategy. His kindness has become a heavy, rusted chain around his neck, a literal weight of stones that are not his to carry. He thinks he is being open-hearted, but in reality, he is just an easy target. Every time he shares his big business plans at a bar, seeking a cheap rush of pride, he is actually killing the biological hunger needed to achieve them. His brain confuses the praise of a goal with the actual achievement. He is a master of the announcement, but a servant to his own lack of execution. Ewan is running out of fuel fast, living in a mansion where the walls are made of glass and every lock is broken. But there is a specific ancient reason why his trust has become his greatest enemy, and the secret to fixing it lies in a silent studio high in the hills, where a mentor is waiting to reveal a truth that most people are too loud to ever hear. Ewan climbed the mountain with a heart full of bitterness, ready to vomit his long list of grievances. He was looking for a co-signer to his story, someone to tell him he was too good for this world. But Master Elara offered no sympathy. Instead, she forced him into a terrifying, visceral shock. 3 days of absolute silence. You see, my friend, when you are busy performing, you are essentially lighting yourself on fire, just to keep others from noticing your internal shadows. Ewan realized that his constant talking was a defense mechanism to hide the fact that he didn't respect his own boundaries. He had been so desperate for connection that he invited wolves directly into his living room. As the static in his head began to settle, he discovered the secret of the call to silence. It creates a vacuum that pulls hidden truths to the surface. He was no longer reacting. He was perceiving. He began to realize that he had been carrying the weight of stones that were never his to lift, simply because he was too loud to notice the red flags waving in front of him. But silence is only the first step. To truly protect your energy, you must face the physical manifestation of your trust. And what Elara is about to show you next is a visual lesson so brutal, it will change how you view every relationship in your life forever. Elara revealed a jar that looked like a masterpiece, intricate, beautiful, yet soft to the touch. This, Ewan, is the image of your trust, she said. Like many of you, Ewan thought his jar was ready for the world, but it had never faced the fire. She commanded him to pour a deep crimson wine, representing his dreams, his loyalty, and his very life energy, into this vessel. Ewan felt a swell of pride as he poured, unaware that giving without a foundation is a quiet form of self-destruction. Then, the horror began. The liquid didn't hold. The walls began to weep. The beautiful decorations blurred like cheap paint. Under the weight of his own depth, the unfired clay turned to mush, and the base gave way entirely. Ewan watched in silence as his life energy soaked into the cracks of the stone floor, a waste that could never be undone. He finally felt it. The weight of the symbol. He realized that his kindness was actually a fatal flaw because he was treating wet, unreliable clay like a finished masterpiece. He had been carrying the weight of stones that were not his, trying to support people who hadn't been fired by the kiln of time. Awareness, the weight of stones that are not yours. But here is the chilling truth. Most of you are still pouring your finest wine into leaking jars every single day. There is a way to fire your vessels and stop the waste immediately, but you first need to learn the rule of the cellar. A secret Ewan was about to learn that explains why your biggest plans always seem to fail the moment you tell someone about them. Ewan stared at the shards on the floor and, for the first time, he didn't feel the urge to apologize for the mess. He finally grasped that his open book policy was just a glaring invitation for people to take advantage. You see, when you show everyone your winning cards before the first bet is placed, you aren't being generous. You're being a fool. Mystery is not a wall. It's a high-precision filter. The revelation washed over him like a cold stream. Silence is the darkness of the soil where true power is fermented. When you keep your moves a secret, you allow the pressure of your intent to build until it's unstoppable. By letting go of the need to be everything to everyone, Yuan finally stopped carrying the weight of stones that were not his. Master Alara then handed him the ultimate safeguard, the ritual of the 3 trials. This is the mental exercise that allows you to see the cracks in someone's clay before you ever pour your wine. It is the power of observation that ensures your inner circle remains a sanctuary, not a source of betrayal. Yuan was no longer a man with a leaking tank. He was a sealed reservoir. But while Yuan had Alara in the studio, you might be wondering, how do I apply these 3 trials to my specific life right now without a mentor in front of me? The answer lies in a specific set of blueprints designed to help you drop the stones and fire your own vessel. And I'm about to show you exactly where they are hidden. Yuan returned to the valley, no longer a servant to other people's opinions, but a man moving with a purpose no one could derail. He finally understood that every word wasted explaining his value to a thief was just another brick pulled from his own foundation. But let's be honest, my friend. It's one thing to hear Yuan's story in the quiet of this moment. It's another to face the noise of your own world tomorrow morning. Many of the stories you hear here aren't just stories. They reflect the invisible weight you may be carrying every day, the constant leaks in your energy tank and the heavy rusted chains of unearned loyalty. If you're tired of holding pain, responsibility, and guilt that were never yours, if you've realized that you are a house with no doors and you are ready to install the locks, I created a solution for you. I've compiled the path to this silent strength into an ebook called The Weight of Stones That Are Not Yours. This isn't just theory, it is the kiln that will fire your clay. Inside, you will find the step-by-step method to stop being a victim of your own kindness and start being the master of your own energy. And because I know that the hardest part is the first step of letting go, I'm including 2 essential guides as a gift. Bonus. 1. Learning to let go, to help you identify exactly which stones are yours and which belong to the wolves in your living room. Bonus 2. When saying no is an act of self-love, the practical manual to building your high-precision filter without feeling a drop of guilt. It's time to stop the leaks. It's time to let your mystery be your greatest shield. The link to claim your copy and start your ritual of the 3 trials is in the description and in the pinned comment below. Don't let another drop of your precious wine soak into the cracks of someone else's life. Join our inner circle and build a fortress that no one can breach. Your lighter life is waiting on the other side of this choice.